Good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and no one can deny. I say good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and nobody can deny. You can break my heart, you can break my bones, but no one can break my spirit, 'cause my spirit is my home. You can take my money, you can take my time, but no one can take my spirit, 'cause my spirit is mine. I say good news, we're breathing. Good news, we're alive. Good news are here, and no one can deny. Oh, good news.
Episode 7, intro, take 1.
Welcome to How We Live, a series for and about women finding beauty, purpose, and meaning as they enter midlife. I'm Dr. Natasha Ghosh, an educator, therapist, daughter, wife, mom, and a woman approaching 50 who's just trying to figure it all out. In this series, I'm inviting you to join us as we talk to a diverse group of women about the unique challenges and pleasures of aging in our culture. In this episode, we're addressing something many of us spend a lifetime avoiding: the question of how we die. Many people see death as a source of fear, a motivator to do more, achieve more, and leave a legacy before it's too late. But what if death could be something else entirely? Not a force of fear, but a point of inspiration. As a therapist, I hear from women who face significant loss, illness, and their own mortality. These stories are filled with immense sorrow, but also profound wisdom. Many describe how grief becomes a companion that softens, but never truly leaves, and yet they are grateful as their experiences have changed their values, brought them closer to the present moment, and shifted how they show up for the people they love and for themselves. Death is inevitable, and it's one of life's only certainties. But instead of avoiding how uncomfortable this makes us, how about we lean in? What if we embraced its inevitability as a guide to living more intentionally, being present, and saying yes to the things that matter most? Join us as we explore how loss and the certainty of death might just be the greatest teacher we'll ever have to inform us on how to live. Do you think much about death and dying?
No, but when I look back, I don't feel like I have lived 44 years, which feels so much. It feels like yesterday I was just a kid, and now I'm 44, and tomorrow I might be lying in the deathbed. So I don't know.
It's something that's terrifying to me. It's terrifying to me, and especially now as my parents get older and we don't really talk about it, it's even more terrifying.
I was very impacted by my grandmother and my grandfather passing away because I was in my late teens, so I vividly remember that whole experience, and I was very close to them. So I firsthand witnessed, right, what that means, getting older and one day not being there anymore. And it had a profound impact on me, about the fragility of life, but also the value of life and how important it is to not waste it away, right? Because you never know when that last moment is going to come.
I do think I probably think about it more than most people. I think, I don't know, but more in a like every day is like nothing's promised to us. Every day is like, it could all go away at any moment, and so like right now. Like, I think it's so much like, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, that's not promised. So that's why every day, like, it's important to enjoy it and not just wait for a future time when you're going to be happy.
I'm okay with death and dying. It's going to happen to everybody, and when it happens to me, I hope I'll accept it, respectfully, because it's a natural event in one's life.
So here I am losing 2 brothers in their teens. Now I'm the mother of 3 children, who are all around the same age, and they've passed their teens, but you know, I'm always still a little bit nervous. You're very nervous when you have a loss like that. When my son's turning 16, I'm thinking, oh my God, is this a family curse? Because we had so much loss. I started thinking, if there's a chapter in my book, are we cursed? You know, so you have these moments like maybe, sending him to camp. He's going to go swimming. My brother drowned. Like, will he be okay? Will they take care of him? Is it safe? And I would just have to talk to myself and say, he's entitled to a life. Like, you can't do that to him. He's entitled to a life. You need to just put that aside.
So I know it's something that I need to research more. But it's like part of life, you know, that's part of self-compassion, is recognizing the universal experience of certain things, and we all die. And so I hope to, when I do die, do it with like peace and acceptance and not terror.
I'm not afraid in any way of dying. I've experienced what's known as full ego death. I spent 45 minutes not existing at all, and so I no longer question what happens when you die, because I feel like I've experienced that, and I'm not afraid of that.
Do you have any beliefs about the afterlife or things that help you to frame the question of what happens next?
I don't have beliefs about the afterlife. I grew up in a religious family, but I am not religious. So yeah, I don't really know what I think happens to us. I just believe in energy and I hope that there's something that I keep getting to, you know, experience.
I think human beings, we're so limited in our, intelligence, so to speak. And so I won't claim to know the answer. Is there an afterlife? I actually don't believe that there is a life after death. But then I also don't know. Maybe there is, right? But it's not something I dwell on. I've heard enough and more stories growing up about life after death and reincarnation and all of that, because I grew up in a South Indian household. And I like listening to it. I like reflecting on it. But it sort of ends there.
Through the work that I've done, my experience is that our soul never expires. Our soul goes on forever. And we're sort of living in this meat suit, and it's our responsibility on this earth to take care of it and honor this temple that we're living inside of. But our soul goes on forever, and even when we have people that have passed, it's not like they're always around us and floating around and in our space all the time, but like with the work that I do, I've just been trained to be able to see or sense them around, and I know that we never go anywhere. I know that our souls are always evolving, right? We're always here to expand lifetime after lifetime. And so I'm not afraid of dying. I know that we never really expire, right?
Not that anyone wishes this, but if life ended tomorrow, how would you feel about that?
Thinking about death goes against my idea of living here and now. The more I feel about it, whatever I think about it, am I afraid to? Like, there's a lot of times in my life where I felt I could die now and I'd be okay. I've done what I want to do, or I've achieved something, or I feel good about myself. There's also been some times where I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. I'm done with this. Let's just pull the chute. Can we just end this thing? Those times there's usually been about not wanting to be experiencing the pain that I was experiencing. But no, death is just part of the deal, Natasha. It's just,
I feel like I'm at a place in my life where I can just be truly present to what is and what is here right in front of me, and enjoy this for what it is without fear of death, of this human body and my human ego And that's not to mean that I wouldn't be sad if I died, because I have so much more that I want to do, and I would be terribly sad to end that early, and I don't want that, but I'm not afraid of death.
I think I would feel positive about the life I've lived, but I think the one word that would describe how I would feel is gratitude. Immense gratitude for having a life, in the first place. So gratitude to my parents for choosing to have children. Gratitude for all the experiences I've had, the ones that gave me joy and the ones that hurt me a lot. Because end of the day, together, they make me who I am. Yeah, so if I were to die tomorrow, that's okay. I would love to say goodbye to a few people, especially my children.
I really try and live every day to the fullest. Yeah. I have lived an amazing life. I want it to go on and on, but I do live it to the fullest every day and hope that I get 60 more years. But if I don't, and there is a after life where I could be upset about it, I don't think I would. Yeah.
What has been your experience with loss, or perhaps even your own mortality? And did this experience change anything for you?
I've watched two people die, both of brain cancer, both my mom and my mom's best friend, like 10 years prior, which is insane. And I'll tell you that it's an image you don't forget.
I lost my mom as soon as she lost her first child. I don't believe in heaven, but I know she did, so I think she went where she wanted to go. And I think she just went, whoa, somebody needs to help my girl, right? And the way in which she died was amazing. She knew she was dying. She was a nurse. She took care of everything. She asked questions. She did closure. She asked me if I was happy. Did I think I drank too much? She wrote her own obituary. She told me what to do when she entered the hospital. So I went through this experience with her and really admired. She was a remarkable woman, my mother. So her death really made me realize I have to do something different with my life.
If anyone who's dealt with cancer, like that kind of stuff, it's just this roller coaster of like hope and then despair, like this just cycle between those two, just like very different emotions. And but it also was very formative in that when my mom was passing away, because I had all that time with her before she passed away, that I like asked her as many questions as I could, and I like spent as much time with her as I could. But she was like, don't you dare like ruin your life because of this. She was like, this is sad and this sucks, but like you have to like don't you dare. Like she was like very adamant. She was like, to my dad, she's like, you need to get remarried. Like to me, you need to go on and keep doing your life. Like she was very adamant that didn't hold me back. So I'll tell you, after that happens though, it really changed my perspective on what matters and what doesn't.
A few people actually recently in my life pass away. And I reflected on the fact that I'm not sad, like I'm not in despair or sadness for them, but I hate to see the other humans around them hurting and the human part of me also hurting. And so that part I don't love about death, but it's part of life.
We have to keep going. And like, there's people in these pictures that I don't recognize and that I don't like, and they were here and now they're gone. And now we're like moving things forward and we're part of this next set of stories. And
so it had a profound impact on me because I witnessed it, at a very young age. And then I lost my dad, who I was extremely close to, a couple of years ago, about 10 years ago. And his death taught me the meaning of legacy. And it had a profound impact on me because I started to reflect on legacy. So the honest answer to your question is, I actually reflect more on legacy than death and dying. Because I've been a single mom for many years, at a very young age, my kids and I sat down and we talked about it, because I don't know if I'll die when they're still young, and I want them to be prepared for that possible event. So we've talked about it, and then when I wrote my will, I sat down with them, and initially they were very uncomfortable, but I said, no, you've just got to make peace that this is going to happen one day. Let's hope it's not anytime soon, but you've got to be prepared mentally that one day I'm not going to be here. And so we've had those conversations, quite a bit. But when I think about legacy, two things always come to my mind. That in my lifetime, I would be able to make education accessible to a very large number of people who can't afford it. That always comes to my mind. The other thing that comes to my mind is this large farm, like a community farm almost, a large farm, and where organic farming, happens, and intergenerationally, that just gets bigger and bigger, and for generations to come, there might be this forest or this big farm that I kind of put the seeds in, but I'm not alive to eat the fruit, but someone else will a few years from now. I really did think of life in terms of happiness and sadness and angst and peace and good and bad, and I kind of had these things going on both sides, right? I think now at 57, maybe all the Zen philosophy I've been reading, but now at 57, I don't see them as negative and positive experiences anymore. I just see them as experiences. And I've come to realize and make peace with the fact that a life really lived is a life that has a bit of everything.
Death is one of life's few certainties, and as scary and sad as that may feel for some of us, what if instead of pushing it away, we used it to understand how to live more fully? What we've heard today is that loss, or its looming, has a way of shifting our perspective. It teaches us to let go of what doesn't matter, trivial conversations, petty worries, and the things that drain us. This clarity invites us to think about what we want to do, who we want to be, and what kind of legacy we hope to leave behind. But it's also about accepting life as it is, imperfections and all, and finding a new sense of compassion for ourselves and for others. So how do we live given the inevitability of death? We do it by leaning into life, being intentional, and choosing love, connection, and courage over fear. The beloved Western Buddhist nun Pema Chodron wrote, "Life is glorious, but life is also wretched. One inspires us, the other softens us, and together they teach us how to be fully present." Join us next time as we bring the series to a close with an essential question: what does it mean to live life on your own terms? Until then, I'm Dr. Natasha Ghosh, reminding you that life can be messy. So at the risk of sounding like a new age bumper sticker, show yourself some love, trust the process, and lean into all the feels, because this is how we live.
I'm from water, wood and fire. I'm from lands no longer near. Nestled amidst mountains, I'm now in a little West Coast home. I'm from Tulsi, with humble roots and wanderlust. Subhadra and Jayamadhavan, my parents dear. Prabench and Niranj, my darling babies, who grow old with me every year. In our nothingness, we have everything. We are blessed to wake up in the east and west where peacocks dance and hummingbirds sing, where idlis have fragrance and coffee has filters, where pancakes are soft and blueberry glitters, where my ancestors told tales of love, loss, and valor to young and old, where my memories and papers are wrapped up in cotton cloth and kiss ancient gold. I'm from water, I'm nothing. On this journey called life, I live for learning, giving, forgiving, growing, dreaming, and loving.